of editing.
Yeah, much less editing for me. So, yay for OBS updates that I've probably been putting off doing for 3 or 4 months. Um, okay, so to answer Dave's, he had the last question there in homeroom. First of all, you guys have been doing heroes work in here, literally. We have, what is this up to now? 120 posts, and at least going to be 121 before we're all done to fully flesh out our, I don't know what WH stands for, but homeroom advisement, class. I think I can make a Stefano, where we have a lovely, heavily populated uh, group of people, group of characters to bounce people off of and cause all kinds of drama just inside of the classroom without even going into the larger school, which will obviously also happen. I think we have pretty much everything. We have like one question, and we have I think one question out there. But honestly, Mike, if you don't want to answer it, don't answer it. It's fine. Um, so great job. I like that the he, him, and she, her are like exactly perfectly split. That's pretty funny to me.
I don't think that anybody worked at that.
No, I don't think anybody did it on purpose. I think it just happened, which is pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, it's neat. Neat how it shook out. I look forward to using all of those people extensively. Okay, but timeline-wise, so session one was us kind of coming into the class for the first day of sophomore year, getting there, dealing with all of the
Seating.
challenges of that, and a little bit of flashback, character introduction kind of bits and pieces, with the speaking with Hellbiter and seeing, find your seats, all that kind of good stuff. Not all the classes are exactly the same, are going to be even close to the same composition as homeroom, but when in doubt, I'm obviously going to drop there and say certain recurring themes keep showing up. Except when it's cool or funny or horrible to have it work a different way. So there's that. Dave asked, what about the when we first met thing? That happened before school? I think it happened before session one, because you guys had already come together, you already knew each other, you were already, kind of had teamed up and seemed to have certain resonances, I guess, with one another. There's weird stuff in you guys' stories and stuff that kind of echoes a little bit, where,
Little threads to pull on.
yeah, some of the technology that you guys found in that one showdown with Troll and his people was, Kiln sort of recognized that stuff as being artifacts of his own time. Met recognized it as warning sign stuff that should be avoided or something. Some of that same tech, Joe remembers as if in a dream, like that half remembered, like it gives you, it's more of a sense of deja vu than anything else, but this sense that you've seen this stuff before or something like it. So there's weird. Half of it's like you guys seem to get along well enough. Half of it's maybe subtle encouragement from Aegis by way of Alex. Some of it is just, you guys get along and there seemed to be some stuff that you could find out there. So that happened before, but also some of the questions that we asked and answered seemed to imply that there was some history some things that had occurred in classes that would have required you guys to be in school with these other people that were in the homeroom. And to that end, kind of going, hey, it's the first day of school and that's the end, and we jump forward, and it's kind of a, if this were a CW thing, we just jump forward and wait for the audience to catch up to the fact that it's now, rather than being Labor Day, is now middle of September, end of September, whatever. It's been a couple weeks. You know where the classes are. So we're not getting we got a few minutes of the, how am I going to navigate around the school thing, and now you guys have at least got that basics stuff nailed down and moving forward. So it's been a couple weeks. Things have been going, and I didn't say anything. So, week 3, mid-morning, and the 5 of you are strapped to an infernal machine and hanging by your arms in the middle of a vast, shadowy open space with lots of weird glowing nodules on the walls that are vaguely Earth-like and vaguely robotic, machine-like, melded into these weird earthen outgrowths, pulsing, dark. Makes the whole place feel kind of cave-like, even though it seems to be an actual constructed building. And you're hanging from this thing. Joe, you feel weak, like this cuffs that your fists are embedded in are kind of not totally drained and unable to move, but definitely shaky. Definitely not at your full potential. 37. As much as they can be without like making it unable for you to like function as a living thing, your cybernetics have been are dead. Like my arm's completely fallen. You ever have it where you wake up in the middle of the night and you've slept on your arm and you literally cannot move it? Like it's just completely pins and needles and numb, and you have to flop your body over to get it to kind of. Accidentally slapped my wife doing that one time.
I have one question about that.
Yes.
Yes. Have I tried turning it off and on again?
Is it plugged in?
It's plugged in.
If you could, the problem is the on-off switch for your arm is on your elbow, and the only way you have to reach it is with your mouth, and you can't reach your elbow with your mouth. It's you can toggle it with your tongue if you could just reach it. You're still in the cuffs, but the
Can anyone else do the lick your elbow challenge? Anyone? Joe?
I think it'd be actually hard because primate arms are proportionally longer.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can anyone else do the lick your elbow challenge? If not, can anyone else do the lick my elbow challenge, please?
Listen, I'm not going to make it any weirder than it has to be. I promise.
Kelton, you're a little. It's really more hazy and disoriented than anything else. Matt, you're strapped in there. Your gizmos and tools and really the accoutrement of your trade are in kind of a pile on the catwalks, a couple 10 feet below you, 3 meters.
Yeah.
That's not a good.
Sorry, that's announcing the stay-at-home order in our area.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And you have to have it like in quadruple stereo.
Yes, as all the phones go off.
Yeah, mine did too as well.
Except for my office phone, which somehow
Probably registered.
isn't connected to.
Yeah.
You know what? It's probably DC because that's where my laptop thinks I am.
Awesome. That's
yeah, you know, like the little pop-up in the corner where it shows the weather and stuff when you're down in the thing. Yeah, and I can't change it because
It's locked down.
Yeah,
Wow.
the location finding's locked down, and you have to actually have location finding functionality on to be able to set your location.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know the weather in DC. How about you?
Yikes. That is.
They have my clock set to the right time.
Well, thank God for that. Oh, that's fine. Sorry.
Sync.
I was just trying to grab.
If you were done with Matt.
I was it, yeah. Sync, you're mostly just feeling kind of a little mentally hazy. Not too bad though. I mean, you're strapped in, you're hanging from your arms. That's not fun.
Is it? What time is it, Sync?
Uh, mm, which may or may not be a really weird experience to have, not being able to immediately answer that question. Anyway, Metzl, or sorry, Metz stuff, and yeah, that is everybody. You have utterly failed to stop me in my bid to take over this entire school, and now you will fall as I suck the last of your powers to finally reach critical mass and the energy that I require to break away from the bindings that Aegis has put on my abilities and finally suck the power and power signatures of every single student in this class. You have utterly failed. Nice. Really nice work. You have done exactly what I expected and exactly as well as I expected. You are absolute failures. Sync, what do you do? That's Surge monologuing from the floor of down below, where he seems to be like sort of glow. Like, I get a picture of Surge up here. Where's my Alt tab? Does nothing when I don't have the tab I need. Image, NPCs. Where's my guys? Surge. Do. He's monologuing. I have time to do this. There we go. Let me get Surge up here. Like this, but also around like the glowing spots on his on his body. I shouldn't say power suit because he's mechanical. But like this, but like earthen buildup around each of the points of power, like points of light, and really kind of echoing what you see up on the buildings and everything like that. You know, up on the around the walls and everything like that. So you appear to be like kind of in the gym or the auditorium or something, which makes sense. Surge. Sync.
Where are you sharing that?
It's on the roll 20.
Roll 20.
Reload the page.
I don't want to. Oh, you weren't talking to me.
Not Dave.
No. You got me monologuing.
You slide.
You sly dog. So that's happening.
Where's
That's certainly happening.
Mom, you're mic'd up.
All right. Read that. Seating chart's been updated. Sorry, I'm trying to sort through like a ridiculous number of notifications of things that I didn't realize I hadn't been looking at today. I get a lot of mail if I don't clear it out. Toot sweet. I get a lot of mail, period, I guess, but anyway. So, chillins, more specifically, Sync, what you doing?
Are we expected to play along with the danger room scenario?
I mean, the goal of the exercise is to not be captured anymore. Surge is pretty method.
Understandable.
It's possible he's on the clean slate program. So I mean this is, you know, not too far away from history.
All right.
So he doesn't quite sell the laugh. That part doesn't quite go, but he's like, okay, come on, it's a little bit too much. So, what you doing?
Part of me wants to be an asshole, and part of me wants to actually play along.
I mean,
Which part? Which part is everyone else feeling?
it is 30% of your first quarter grade.
No, just if being silly is going to ruin it for everybody else, I don't want to do that.
I mean,
So,
it's not going to ruin it for anyone. It's not going to. Everyone gets a shot. It's all about.
No. I mean, players.
That's fine.
Tell me,
It's
do you
fine.
guys feel like playing along?
Sure.
Hello.
Deeply. Hello.
Hello?
I'm back.
Did you hear Mike's question? Maybe no, maybe yes.
I've not heard anything since I hopped off the phone. Or
Oh,
hopped onto the phone.
So,
If we play along, if
yes. As players, do you want to play along with this or no?
Sure.
Sure. Okay. All right.
What?
Because my alternative was if we weren't playing along with this, I was going to see if I could trick what's his name? Surge into letting at least one of us go.
I mean, he's playing the part of the villain. He's going to be villainous for whatever value of villainous seems most appropriate. If that makes any sense.
Okay. No, because the alternative was, Mr. Surge, I got to go to the bathroom.
I mean, you could certainly say that. I'm not sure. There are many sympathetic teachers in this school. Serge is not one of them. But I mean, you can try anything.
No, I think
He's playing villainous Surge taking over the school. At this point, he's likely to stick to that script.
all right.
You
in
should
that
have gone
case-
before you left. No.
Now, in that case, we're gonna see if we can get the most likely person into action again,
Okay. Cool. I like where that's going.
and that's probably gonna be Alex.
God damn it.
Yep.
Okay. What you gonna do?
So
Because I mean, there's
Sweet.
old moves. You also got straight up creeping, which may apply. Maybe.
nah, I'm just gonna see if I can just swing my legs up and try to smack their arm so that we can try to reset the cybernetics. We'll turn it off and on again.
We'll turn it on and off again.
Uh-huh.
About halfway through that, Alex is like, I was joking, but you know what? Go for it. What parts? I mean, what parts are the kind of cybernetics that would be disabled to render you, contain you, Alex? I'm not saying like what's the whole laundry list, but is it like a leg, an arm, two arms, one leg?
Like, what does Alice have?
Yeah, I mean, I guess if there's some sort of brain interface, that's not offline. The limbs would be what had been sort of disabled. That kind of thing. Possibly the eye would be out, that kind of thing. I don't know what the parts list is.
Alex lost all 4 limbs. They got shredded
Oh.
in the explosion.
Oh, okay.
So they are full body, like their torso and stuff is intact, but like that's that's what they got left.
Oh, gotcha.
And so the easiest way to disable that, honestly, is if you're Sergeant Surge, you trace the power leads up to whatever like power source that they have implanted in them, and you cut most of the leads.
There seems to be. You felt this feeling before? You've had a certain kind of numb, tingly kind of like dislocate, like almost like a dislocated joint kind of thing, but without the pain, just the sense of pressure. And it usually comes from magnetic interference. So he might be doing some sort of, very specific like magnetic, like there's some maybe magnetic coupling point or something like that he's futzing with to do like. But if the connection's not there for a second, he might sort of lose his grip, so to speak. I've seen worse things. So I think that this is going to be a defend. Like you're trying to protect her from the effect. How does that track?
I'll go with that.
That feels pretty good to me. Otherwise, it would be. The only other thing I could see was like some sort of freak to like overcome the obstacle, but a defend feels better.
I'm good with that.
Yeah. All right. So you're like kind of doing almost like a jackknife kind of pike thing and swinging your feet up to kick at the I joke the reset button in the elbow, but why not?
Like if there's an inhibitor, you can kick that off.
Yeah, something like that. Like if it's magnets, literally just kick them off.
Yeah.
The biggest thing that annoys me about this is I had a whole like keep them busy monologue thing going on, so I'm now upset. But go ahead.
Oh, with the whole elbow thing and all that other kind of stuff.
Something, but yeah, keep going.
No, but I don't mind this for color because if you're focusing their attention on you, then that's
I'll set that up then.
Okay, please.
I've also got to move.
Teamwork, baby.
I've also got a move call before we get started. I have time to closely observe the opposition before a fight, so I'll be doing that.
Ooh.
But
yes.
Hey, I just want to understand your plan here. You're gonna draw the power out of all the students. Is that correct?
And copy it, as is my finest and most powerful ability, unstoppable. When
okay, so
unleashed.
Does that include the pact with hell that Chris Drake has?
There's a pause. See, here's the thing. I'm going to lean in a little bit into the fact that it's a high school thing, and some of the stuff is a little bit, you get to be a little bit silly. So there's a bit of a pause, and he's like, the ability to summon the sword itself may... how often would I really need that, honestly?
Well, you're going to have it. It's like you can't just. This is not a car rental. This is a car purchase. Like you owe the bank now. This is the thing you bought in.
I can choose which powers I channel. I can select each individual ability. A person's hyper intellect. Another person's strength. Someone else's innate sense of space and time.
Well, maybe start with the hyper intellect because this sounds like a stupid plan, my dude.
Okay. All right. Let me look at your move real quick because I want to get the order of events here. Oh, that picture makes me happy, by the way, your character picture that you have up right now. That makes me super happy. Anyway. Before we get started, you have time to closely observe your opposition before a fight. Roll savior. Reader. Cost from you. Yeah. Let's. So that's going on. There's also the random crack about like Mr. Surge, sir, I need to go to the bathroom. Is anyone else? I feel like this would be a little bit. Let's go around the room. Hey, Matt. So this is a assignment that you've been given by an instructor that will amount to, what did I say, 1/3? 1/3 of your grade for the first quarter of the school year for this course. Given your background, how seriously are you taking this? Like, is this are you is this game face time, or do you pick up on what's going on with the team here and also start like kind of going with the the mockery?
Sorry, who was that addressed to?
That was to Matt.
You.
Given your
Okay.
background, and I mean, how seriously game face are you about this at this point? Or are you participating in the verbal hijinks?
Person in authority. Challenging. Um,
This will go on your permanent record in the form of a grade. This
I would say that Met is observing strongly, but is not throwing a quip out at this point.
All right. Kiln, same basic question. What your background is for mock battle scenarios or anything like that, but that seems to be a big thing, certainly with this particular instructor. Are you the silent observe and then act type, or are you also joining in the banter?
I'll join
The
in
heckle and obfuscate.
Obfuscate?
Thank you.
That's a mouthful sometimes.
Can we say words today? Because it seems like we're all having issues.
We're
with
yeah. Earthern?
I'm
Earthern?
yeah.
Earthran?
Words?
Sean encountered today that very special moment where when you look at a word for too long, it starts to look wrong.
Oh yes.
Because he was doing his online homework and he goes, I know this is the right word, but it looks wrong now. Anyway. Okay, so you're joining in the mockery? Kiln?
Yeah.
What's your are you piggybacking on something they're saying, or is it just other random heckling? And if so, what's that?
Other heckling of Mr. S.U.R.G.E. It's a festival day today, celebrating the birth of Daja. I can't fight today, so I have to be here still.
I have to assume a position of nonviolence.
I've been reading about conscientious objection, and I object to this conscientiously. I like that. I'm just looking at your ancient wisdom thing, just to see if it applies here, but it may come up. And finally, Joe. Little, not mentally groggy, physically weakened, certainly, but
Right.
yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Joe is going after a provoke.
Oh.
Joe is going after you've got a head you don't need. Provoke. You crazy clanking machine! Let me down from here, or I'll tear your arms off and use them for a back scratcher. Get over here and look me in the eye and say these things you're saying to me. Well, the idea is I want him to get close enough that I can actually grab him with my legs and try to restrain him.
When you provoke
got
someone,
my arms, but not my legs.
When you provoke someone with obvious threats and shows of force, roll danger instead of superior. Okay, yeah. That's a lovely way of distracting. So first thing we're going to do, I'm actually going to remember this ahead of time. When you, as a team, face off against a powerful foe, right? Where's that thing at? Enter battle against a dangerous foe as a team. Add 2 team to the pool. Done. So we're at 3. 3? I think we're at 3. If the leader has, who's leading?
I think started it off with the taunts of bathroom stops.
Yeah, it's either Sink or Alex with the yeah. I mean, there's actually, God, any of you guys could. We need to come to a consensus. Margie says Link. I say nothing.
I'll Rochambeau you
Sink,
for it,
not
Bill.
Link.
Sink.
Sink, Link.
Sink.
God, not Link.
Hey.
Sink. We got a couple Sinks.
Sink, faux bink. Banana, fana, faux fink.
All right.
Now that's
Sink, do you have, we'll go with Sink.
Do I have
Influence over every teammate.
Yes.
You do? That's astonishing. That's fantastic. Add another team, so we're at 4. If everyone has the same purpose in the fight, add another team.
My purpose is to get a good grade.
Grade.
That sound about right? Do the job.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. Joe's is like, yeah, fine grade. Also, really would like to slam Serge's head into the floor. Parenthetically.
You get a good grade for that.
Yeah. Okay, 5.
That's
If
what
any
we counted
team
on.
member mistrusts the leader or the team, remove a team. Anybody mistrust Sink?
At school.
Anybody?
Well, he's my he's my rival, but the problem is I trust him in how competent he is.
It's just a complete pain in the tuchus.
I trust he will lord this over us.
Anybody mistrust the team?
I get paid to, but not personally.
Nice.
That would be awesome if we like always lost a point because I'm sorry guys, I'm still pulling a paycheck. I mistrust the team contractually. If your team is ill prepared or off balance, remove a team. I mean, it isn't like you got here because you screwed up. You started out strapped to this thing, so done. All right, so that puts us at 5 team. I wanted to have this done ahead of time because it's important deal. So that gets me up to 3 cards to me and deal. All right, there we go. We got our hero stuff because we got moves coming. Subtly, I think the very first thing that happens is Margie, you're micing up a little. Thank you. Before we get started, I think is like sort of the first thing that happens because it's just kind of quietly happening in the background. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. And so I'm going to have Alex do the before we get started move. If you would. Okay. Dang.
I still hold 1, which is great. I just get to mark a condition.
Oh, I'm really? How did? Before we get started, roll savior. That seem off to any of you? That's not right.
What do you mean?
4 plus. I'm mousing over the number. It says 4 plus 2 plus 0. You're supposed to be rolling.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Savior is currently 2, so I'm not sure why it didn't calculate.
That is weird. And did you click on the button next to before we get started, or yeah, of course you did.
Yeah.
Weird. I'm just gonna. I'm
gonna do one more sample roll. Please ignore the next 3 rolls. Okay.
I'm ready for you.
That one
adding.
worked.
No, it didn't. That's not right.
I changed the label to freak.
Yeah, plus and minus
to
1.
see if it,
Right. Yeah, plus and minus 1.
and I'm gonna change it to mundane, which is 0.
Okay, that's fine. Hit Savior again just for kicks and giggles. I wonder if it's pulling the wrong stat. That's
Yeah.
right.
Okay, that fixed it.
Something weird. Yeah, something weird there. So let it stand as an 8, which it should have been.
Okay, we'll do.
Hold 2, and you can do stuff with that. Redirect their attack, cross the distance, stun them, ignore all harm from one of their attacks, blah, 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 blah. Very nice. Love it. We'll pocket that away. We're going to do... I shouldn't have done that. Hey, look, I can undo it. Great. We're going to do, I think, Joe's Provoke based off of rolling Danger instead of Superior. So, Joe, if you do the honors, I'm going to keep a close eye on this roll result just to make sure it's playing ball nicely. I don't know why yours always lags. No, that one came out all right, but gave you
It
7.
came out right.
It's not a great number.
7. It's not a great number, but so on a 7, you get to choose one thing that happens. They stumble, they err, or they overreact. But they don't do what I want.
Yeah, stumble, you get +1 for it against them. You gain a critical opportunity, or you gain influence over them. That's interesting. Wow. Start out the campaign with influence over Surge is kind of. I mean, it doesn't have anything to do with this session, with the events as they stand, but that's kind of funny. Anyway,
He's impressed by my bravado.
I mean, sure.
So-
I don't have any problem explaining it. I just think it's interesting.
There are 4 choices there.
One.
There are?
Yes, because they can still choose to rise to the bait.
Okay, focus on one subtitle. Say what you're trying to
They
get.
can. You're right. They can choose one.
For
So
NPCs,
they rise to the bait.
oh, they can instead choose one.
Yep.
Right. Instead of
Oh.
rising to the bait.
Now that's interesting because it says they can.
Right.
instead
Which
choose
means
one.
which means
Oh, so
they
it's-
get to make the decision.
I don't think I've ever done that right. I've certainly never done oh, I could still just do what you said. So you want him to come straight at you.
So I can grab him with my
Oh my goodness.
prehensile gorilla legs.
Mhm.
Yes, get him close enough so I can kick the magnets onto him.
They err, you get a critical opportunity, which honestly. So the coming at so if they go for what you want so opportunities here. If they do what you want, they're going to come where Joe can take a shot at him unexpectedly. If you take the stumble, you get a +1 for it against them. He will legitimately hesitate at what you're saying and not react well to whatever you do next because they're kind of you shook them. Okay. Dude, too soon. They err, you get a critical opportunity. That would be the option for he doesn't come straight at you, but he comes close enough to you to mock you, but staying intelligently out of harm, out of legs reach, but giving you the opportunity to kind of Sync to kick the magnets onto him. They overreact. You gain influence over them, which I think is going to be a similar kind of deal to. I think that's probably him monologuing and doing some sort of group thing. So he's going to go for some sort of group attack kind of a deal, but you're going to get influence. So you're going to have some less fun stuff heading your way, but you do pick up influence over him. So I'm just laying out what these sort of mean in context. Hopefully that doesn't rob the fun.
Yeah.
Which do you like?
Which do I like?
Yeah. Oh, wait. It is still me. Damn
the
it.
decision is yours.
See, as I said, I don't think I've ever done this right.
That's the disadvantage for me of having only rolled 7 and 9.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. I am going to go with because he's playing, the clever villain the conniving villain who's got this plan, but he's also going to react to the fact that you've, gone to try to hit his buttons and stuff like that. So he's going to go with what he's choosing to do is he's coming up, but he's not coming up close enough to you for you to reach him because he's not an idiot, right? What he's doing is he's erring and giving a critical opportunity for. It'll be a follow-up thing for Sync. It won't necessarily be part of the defend, but it will be a follow-up role there for Sync if he can pull his bit off. He's left himself open to somebody else doing something because he's kind of focusing on you and being safe from you, and he's not necessarily within gripping distance of anybody else either, but he's not necessarily paying attention to anybody else. So there's your critical opportunity. Yes, cool. That's what we're going with. And there's your distraction. And now, Sync, I believe you have a defend coming up.
Well, that was when I thought I was going to reactivate somebody's arm, but
if you got to, on the other hand,
if I can kick those off, onto him,
Yeah, go for it.
would that be a directly engage?
I mean, if you were shooting for take something from him as one of the things, then I'd say you kind of have to do it as a directly engage, really.
I was going to do it more for the create an opportunity for your allies, where the opportunity being we get out, but.
Well, yeah, I mean, it kind of meets all of the same criteria. So you're doing it as an attack against him, create an opportunity. Taking away the magnets means Alex is up to bat. So yeah, right. I mean I think it's definitely a directly engage, which is going to be danger, which has its own. But hey, that's why we've got team in the pool.
Yep, I am the worst person for this, but I'm still going to go for it. Unless I could. I doubt Suck It Damatane applies here.
Yeah, because you're not really facing him. It's almost like a sneak attack kind of a thing. It's not like you're standing strong in the face of incoming fire kind of a deal.
Yep.
Dude, I had a Nova try to solve a fight with a mind-blowing, mind-controlling fish creature thing by trying to do an offensive comfort and support against it with a -4 on the roll. So -1 is nothing. That's nothing.
That can work.
No, it was absolutely awesome. It was just,
All right, here I go.
Bloop. What do we got? Oh, look at that. Look at that. Now, does anybody... So, this is still the...
I'll twist.
Go ahead.
I'll twist out of the way to make that hit easier.
Some sort of torso lunge kind of a thing to kind of get clear so he can really kind of swing for the fence kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So you kind of... It's kind of a kick. It's also kind of a grab. You bring your feet up and grab a piece of the device or something that's part of the machine between your feet and whip down to both yank it off and whip it at Surge. Is it that kind of a deal? Is that what we're aiming at, or something different?
Yes, that is perfectly fine.
Reach up and Joe, you still the soup. As awesome as this is going to be, you can't help the bitter thought of I was going to do the attack.
Set him up to do this.
Well, you set him up to do this, and I was going to do the thing where I attack him with my feet. I mean, seriously, it's my thing, and he's using his feet. What the hell, So, still a bit of bitterness there. We get a team out of the pool. We'll throw it out here for our little... that right on top of him. Plonk. All right. So you have a 10 on your directly engage. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Directly engage a threat, roll danger, trade blows on the 10 plus, pick 2.
All right. So, I ask for my things here.
Mm-hmm.
If I choose create an opportunity for my allies, does that mean that whatever I've done has kind of gotten us free? The momentary distraction has dropped his whatever he was that was holding.
Well, I think it's probably I think my so I'm glad you asked this because my initial instinct would have been, okay, Alex, go because you're free, but it says allies. So something about the thing that you yanked loose created like a surge fault. Ha! See what I did there? In the machinery, and the cuffs drop for everyone. So, yes, that would be a create an opportunity for your allies, plural.
All right.
I'm still going to probably have Alex go first. Well, no, we have some people who haven't gone yet, so it might be somebody else first. But
Yeah, let's
So-
have
That's
them go.
it's all good.
So-
Okay, so that's one.
2 more things. One, if I don't choose resist or avoid their blows, can we flavor that as when Alex went and did that, or not Alex, when Sink went and did this, basically he was almost completely horizontal in the air when he did the kick.
Mm-hmm.
All of our cuffs went off. So basically Alex is going to land back first onto the catwalk.
And it is like a 3-meter drop, and you're a dude. Like you're not like, yeah.
Blows all the air out of
I am absolutely okay with that. I was going to go with some sort of like almost blind power use in your general direction by Surge, but this is nothing even intentional. So yeah, if you don't resist or avoid the blows, it's really environmental effect. I'm going to give you a condition. I'm just going to have you take a powerful blow and see how that rolls because you don't need conditions at this point. So there's a lot of
I was just going to take a condition, but yeah.
yeah,
That's fine.
there's a lot of ways it could roll out that way that end up you not actually taking anything. So I want to leave that as an option.
In that case,
I've come to this weird conclusion that like sometimes just giving a condition for something is almost a harder move than take a powerful blow because there's escape clauses in take a powerful blow. You know, you can keep people on their feet longer. Anyway, just a thing. Anyway, so in that event, what was the other thing?
Impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition.
If I get to choose, I would choose impress. And
that's what I was hoping for.
Okay. All right. Good stuff. Yeah, we'll see what that looks like here in just a little bit. I'm gonna have you. Let's roll. So everyone drops loose. Sink. Go ahead and take a powerful blow. We'll see what that looks like. No conditions right now, so just clicky click.
So just like hit the ground and woof.
Ugh. Bloop.
Ugh.
That's good. That's
so thumbs up in the air afterwards. It's like, okay, guys, go get him.
Yeah, you tell this. Wham! And everybody else drops to the feet and kind of looks at him like, "Oh shit!" And he's like, and the arm just comes straight up with the thumbs up, and they're like, "Okay, we can go." I love that. Mark potential. Is that the first potential that we've marked?
Yeah.
Woot. Very nice. And
I do need to say that I should have rolled something before we got started, but we can do that later.
oh yeah, sorry about that. Well, we can. This is like the.
It's fine. We
It's
can do it later.
study
That's fine.
study hall after gym, right? Anyway, I have things to say about this opening scene here in a second. Okay, so Matt, you drop right at your gear, which is convenient. You're grabbing that, but Kiln. Kiln's got stuff, but like Kiln, what do you do? What do you need to do or you've got to move here. You're on your feet. You've got an opening. Surge is kind of set back, and he actually took. He just took. Sorry, my bad. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, you gotta make a move.
Yeah, I was gonna say Surge got to do something here. Nope, that's not it. Have I seriously never put this up on my thing? Oh, I'm the worst. I'm bad at this game. Hang on. Gotta do a tablecloth trick. Okay. Surge, seeing the machine start to power down, shouts, "No!" And he just in a rage, like throws his arms out at it and starts to like Magneto rip pieces down off of it down at you guys, like because you're between kind of you and him, and it's like crashing into the catwalk and stuff like that. So he's busy with that uh thing. Um I don't think Kiln, who has influence over you right now? Can you give me that extra info without me?
He wouldn't know.
Yes.
It's not on his character sheet.
Yes, I do. I wrote it down.
Oh, you wrote it down.
Do you not
I
have
have
Do you not have influence over anybody?
I have influence over Met.
I was gonna say everybody has influence over Met.
All right. Nice. We forgot to have it wasn't on the character sheet. I was curious. Who does maybe I'll just throw it out to the group. Who does not have influence over Kiln right now?
I do not.
All right, Joe. Perfect. So Kiln, go after Surge. Go after Surge, or there's some of the stuff that's crashing down is coming down. Joe is probably tough enough to just take it. Or you can kind of help him out with that by knocking him out of the way or stopping the thing that's coming down. Shouting a warning is enough to give him some team to help out with whatever's happening. He's the one who's first in danger, this thing. So the big ape is in a bit of trouble, or Surge is your priority.
Well, so question.
Mm-hmm.
With the danger room simulation, how far is it going? Because
It's not.
earlier you said getting out of the restraints, but like, do we need to beat him or
Yeah, you need to.
fight until he goes?
You need to defeat
no?
the evil. You need to defeat the evil Surge. That's what the points are. Is get loose, and you're maybe getting close to bonus point territory at this point. You could win, quote
Did you
unquote.
say that everybody escaping would count as defeat?
Everybody
Or do
escaping.
you actually have to physically defeat him?
We have to defeat him or drive him from the field.
Everybody escaping is a passing grade. Okay, the faster you do it, the better that passing grade is. For bonus points, make it so you don't have to escape because the villain has been subdued. So, GTFO or beat the crap out of him. The question is, do you race the group do you get the group to the door as fast as possible, or do you go for Surge for that bonus thing? And this is half tactics, but also just half what does Kiln instinctively do in that kind of a situation.
So go after Surge, go for the door, or defend Joe from the stuff crashing
Defend
down.
Joe so you can all get out, together. Joe's a big tough dude. His powers are probably coming back on.
Call out a warning to Joe.
All right, that can just be a thing that's happening. It gives you the opportunity to like throw team in there when Joe's got something going on, which will be coming up next.
So it's not a defend.
It's not gonna be a defend unless you want it to be a defend, like full on, like your priority is going to be protect Joe. Awesome. Otherwise, it's just going to be I'm leaving the door open for there to be some help, and you go for like and the main thing I'm doing is going to be this other thing. So that's kind of up to you, Kilm. Are you focusing on the Joe part, or is that just a secondary thing that you're doing? I take a free action to shout "Look out." No, whatever. Sorry. I'm pushing on this question primarily because I want to get a sense of like Kilm's, middle of the fight instincts. Is he gonna, rush the bad guy?
No,
Is
I'll they will probably
Oh, sorry. I said I'm sorry. I'm not getting the pronouns right. I'll get better. I swear.
they'll probably race over and try and
Like body check him out of the way.
shield. No, Joe's a big guy.
Oh,
Not gonna body check him.
But body checking Joe's not going to be a path to success.
look
I'm
out!
gonna-
Ugh. Thap from what? Smash into Joe's head, like as Kiln's laying on the ground in front of him, looking dazed. I tried to save you.
I'm gonna try and shield Joe from the debris.
So you have like magical arms and armor, is that right?
Yeah.
Is this the kind of thing that like once you're loose, they're there, like they just kind of
Katana space.
you voop them in,
Space.
you voop them into position. Nice. All right. So yeah, it's very straightforward. Give me a defend, please. Por favor. Look at that. Look at that 9. Look at that beautiful 9. We haven't seen this in a while, so let's look at it real quick. Defend. If you defend someone or something. For Pete, it's NPC threats. On a hit, you keep them safe and choose one. On 7-9, it costs you. Expose yourself to danger or escalate the situation. So, you choose one. Add a team to the pool. Take influence over someone you protect. Clear a condition. On the 7-9, you're going to either escalate the situation in some way or you'll expose yourself to danger, which will probably be a take a powerful blow kind of thing, I think.
Well, I think kind of obviously exposed to danger.
Yeah. Alternately, somebody else could also help with the defense, and that would get you to a 10, which means you just keep them safe and choose one.
That I mean,
it's if you're not looking for the help, I'm not gonna go and solicit the group.
I mean, with big hunks of metal flying towards us, it makes sense for there to be exposing to danger.
Sure, absolutely. Okay, in that case,
and I'm going for influence over Joe.
Okay.
If that feels
I mean, you get to say, and certainly Kilm leaping to your defense. I personally have no beef with Dave.
No, that's fine. That would
look out, and he's like leaping over you, classic anime block thing, shield up, as the stuff smashes into the shield. Go ahead and roll me a take a powerful blow, please. Where is Kilm? Bloop. Love the beep. Look at you guys. Failing all over the place at just the right time. A 1 and a 5 with no conditions means nothing happens. What's this look like? Like you just take this with no. I mean, you weather it.
I think what happens is that so there's Kiln jumping over Joe with the shield, and yells, look out, and therefore Joe raises his hand just in time to knock Kiln out of alignment, and therefore,
No, I did.
No, nothing happened to Kiln. The fail is a good thing when you're doing take a powerful blow.
right, the wrong way. Yes, never
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah. That's the one that always.
I still hate that. Just so you know, I still cannot
If it helps,
consistently get my head on that.
if it helps, think of it as me rolling an attack roll against you guys. So you want me to fail.
That actually is not a bad one.
Yeah, you want me to fail. So I'm not actually hitting
Except
the
for
dice.
that we're rolling it.
So
See, that's the problem.
Yeah, I
so
know.
Kiln takes the blow on his sword as he slices it the girder that's falling down,
Like right
and
up.
it passes to either side harmlessly. Potential.
Yeah, you get potential for it too, which is awesome. I love it. Met. What Surge is doing, and with the use of his powers are, and I'll say this out of character a little bit, but he's using Earth-based stuff and also using magnetic-based stuff. These were two of the power sets that he's been sort of allowed to keep sort of full time. Out of the many different things, he doesn't have the mimicry. He doesn't actually have the mimicry circuit in place for anything. He can't do active mimicry, but some of the stuff that he has mimicked in the past, he's been allowed to keep for the purposes of just doing this job. So you're seeing magnetics. Certainly, the stuff that he's doing right now looks like industrial loaders and movers or something you might have seen on the generation ship or something like that. So it's fairly familiar. Robotics isn't as big a thing. Like independent AI robotics was definitely not a thing. It's been a little bit. And I'm saying this because Dave sort of established it in the questions and answers.
I told him to establish
Yeah,
it. He
yeah.
asked me.
So yeah, the robot thing is unusual. So you've got your stuff. I'm picturing like Asami from Korra like pulling on her electric glove and going ha, you know. But anyway, you've got your stuff. What do you do?
Is he physically tearing stuff down, or is
He's
using the grab powers at
He's
this
doing like a magneto tear.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's absolutely using like not gravity, magnetics. Want to be clear on that. It's a magnetic. He's oh god, what is the name of the
primary force?
Yeah, it's a different primary force. He's his copying is from Seismic Prime, who is actually one of the villains in the villain deck, and somebody I wish was in the villain deck, Magmatador, because that name is fantastic, and I really want to see the art for it, but we don't get to. So yeah, Magmatador. So what do? You've knelt, you've grabbed your stuff. Your team thus far is safe.
So is the magnetic sourced at him, or is it I can pinpoint it over there and have it change to magnetic?
He is grabbing stuff basically. Like imagine him with really long arms and he's pulling it down like onto you guys, sort of basically.
Point of origin with him.
He is the point of origin of the ability. Yes.
That's all we needed.
Yeah.
So my plan is to get him off balance.
Okay. All right.
Because then any movements he's making, he won't have, I want to try and overbalance him as he's pulling back or making the motions of movement.
Okay. All right. I think that's probably going to be a directly engaged then. You just kind of go. So this is a gravity kind of thing. You're going to use your gravity stuff. Let me look at this. I need to find. We don't have the playbooks for that particular playbook. Is in the Unbound? No. I think.
I don't have any things that really help with that right now.
Yeah.
I mean, mine are more, 20th century studies, applied history kind of things.
Yeah, no, I was just looking to see what the Harbinger. Oh, you choose one. So you're doing the futuristic gadgets and implants kind of thing. That was basically.
No.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. I just wanted to get an idea of like how I'm framing this, but yeah, cool. All right, so you're gonna. Is this a touch thing? Can you reach out and affect him from here? Do you have to like get over him, get under him, get next to him?
No, mine's more advanced. So mine is I can direct where it originates as well as the effect it has. That's how you move large,
Stuff.
crates and stuff. You don't have to go up and touch them. That would be inefficient. You direct it to that spot.
So
change the gravity at that spot.
You're just freaky with gravity. Gotcha. All right. Still going to be a directly engage, I think, because if he feels this kind of thing happening, there's some risk.
Not my best ability, but we'll see how we do.
Yeah. All right. Do. I mean, it's the first issue. People have got. You guys have to screw up sometime.
Yeah.
Otherwise, how do we
Not today,
see?
Joe. Not today.
Not today. All right. It's an 8 on a directly engage. So you have options there. Pick one from resist or avoid their blows. Take something from them. In this case, probably their footing. Create an opportunity for your allies. Impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition.
I think what I was really looking for here was that sort of, taking his balance away.
Yeah. So yeah, taking his footing.
Yeah.
You have to see that link that Bill put up there for you. We have to screw up sometime. Do we though? Do we? So good. So yeah.
It's macaroon, Stacy.
I mean, we could call it take something from them, but honestly, I think it's create an opportunity for your allies because he's going to be off balance, but really what that does is going to be create an opportunity for other people.
I mean, basically what I want to do is put him at a disadvantage, so I guess if that means giving other people an opportunity.
Yeah, giving them an opportunity I think is going to be
that pulling the rug out from under him feeling.
Yeah, for sure. He's going to just looking at I love it. Okay. So you did not pick resist or avoid their blows. So as he feels himself start to go up off the ground, like kind of like you see him like focus down on you, and we'll do this one more time. He reaches out with one hand to the side and like you see him make like sort of the grab and clench motion and like brings his arm across, which also puts him into a spin, like, because physics is a thing. But he basically rips one of those little rock things off of the rock clusters off the wall and whips it at you. And I'm going to have you take a powerful blow as he's going down on his back. So this is all kind of happens simultaneously. Let's see what happens to you though when you.
Can I act to defend?
It's a no. The short answer is no, because it's a consequence of like what she did that has to happen. The acting to defend thing is usually like a 7 to 9 going, okay, I need to make things complicated for somebody else, so here's this thing you can stop. This isn't the thing you can stop. This is the hard move result. This is a thing that's been picked to happen.
Okay.
Yeah, because she picked not to avoid the blows. So.
Yeah, but you're saying you don't want more people to get in on that action?
It's okay.
No, there'll be other consequences.
I will absolutely give Joe the opportunity to save Matt on many occasions, but usually I got to throw it up there as like the soft move. This is that, and it's defend is tough because it's a soft move versus a hard move thing. Soft moves is this thing's about to happen. What do you do? Hard move is this thing has happened. Roll.
Thing has not happened.
What's that?
Which thing did not happen?
Yeah, this thing has happened. Roll to see how it affected you. So it's a foregone conclusion kind of a thing. Yeah. So if you would, this thing did not happen.
It's a 5.
What the hell, guys? Oh my God! I said I wasn't sitting up here and I didn't beep at me because I didn't have the. My God, you guys and your frickin' now again. I sensed some. Skepticism when I said take a powerful blow gives people an escape route from damage, but you've demonstrated that 3 times in a row and picked up potential in the process. So the rock's coming. What does this look like? I mean, do you just dodge out of the way? Do you?
See, no, I just take my other hand and deflect it
Nice.
someplace where there aren't people or won't be people, because I do that math.
Right. Nice. And yeah, it smashes into more of the already totally trashed uh, mechanical stuff. So Surge is going over on his back, and that smashes into the machine basically as he lands on his back. And when he lands on his back, when he lands onto the bottom on the ground, you hear in the throughout the entire auditorium, and then the lights all come up and everything kind of just.
Just like the end of the Kobayashi Maru scenario. The walls open up.
There's a big red button. Literally, there's a harness on him on his back with a big red button that if he lands on his back, 10 points to Gryffindor and the exercise is over.
Nice.
Which, not to put too fine a point on it, but not to pull aside the curtain too much. One of the responses for picking up the condition you just picked up is, basically give up, surrender. And I'm like, okay, well that's when the scenario ends. Takes 2 conditions.
Yeah.
He lands on his back. All over. Everyone comes up. The not stadium seating. What is the word I'm looking for?
Bleachers.
The bleachers. My God. Yeah, the bleachers. The bleachers in the gym. The rest of the class is kind of up there, and a couple of them are like, "Woo, yeah!" A couple of them are like, a couple of them are like talking to each other, and pretending like they're not even watching this thing.
That's pretty girl.
Yeah. She's the lights come up, and you actually see her look super annoyed because she had finally figured out this really soft lighting thing, and she was about to take a selfie, and the light came up and ruined the exposures. Sure. Yeah, macaron. Macaroon.
Stacy. God.
But she's sitting there, and then the lights come up, and she's like, "Ah, had the perfect filter." Serge is sitting up, kind of brushing rock dust off and brushing away the rock stuff that had encrusted around his lights and everything like that. Did we establish a team name for you guys that he would actually use at this point, or are you simply
We did not.
Are you simply Group C?
We are the surge suppressors.
Nice.
So could we have called that our shot before we took it, where it's like we put that in as our team name right before this whole exercise took place?
Yes.
Just knowing we were going to do well.
Yeah. First of all, I have to say yes. Secondly, Bill, you made that move, and I feel like you didn't get a chance to. Are you still going to have that floating around, something you can use against him in the future, or is that?
No, the hold ends at the end of the scene. So.
I'm sorry.
They come back in the story.
Yeah. I should have. Sorry.
I got to be snarky at him. I got what I wanted.
Because in hindsight, I could have leaned over to you to go do you want to redirect this in some way? But it's all good. All right, and you got to be snarky at him. I think you were lead snark. Yes, sir.
Do know that move is basically Bill's soldier move from the Star Wars game, where it's just gonna come up basically anytime we're not surprised.
Yeah.
So
got it, and it's all to the good. I am just fine with that. I just got to remember to or make sure that we're both remembering to get it in there in the play and everything. So good stuff.
I'm thinking now is a good time to roll my memory check
Okay,
on Surge.
while that's happening, um, Surge is getting up, brushing himself off. Very good, and he pulls up. He like taps his wrist, and he pulls up like the little holographic screen thing that like is projecting, kind of in clipboard space right above his forearm. And he goes, "All right, well done, team. Surge suppressors, really."
Not freshmen anymore.
Team surge suppressors, really? All right, bonus points for this is bonus points for defeating the supervillain with the biological scheme. Didn't need to escape. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 moves. So still gives you the baseline of thing. Carry the 1. All right, I think you're all going to be very happy with that score. Well done. Bonus points to Synchronous. That was some nice work disabling the undocumented weakness of my nefarious machine. So, good job there. I'm going to assume that you knew it would do that. Because, of course, you're not going to make a move like that without having planned for it ahead of time. He is going to, first of all, you get influence over Surge.
Whom?
You do. Sync, you get influence over Sergeant Surge. But he's also going to try and shift your labels. Because you should be planning for this kind of stuff. And he is going to shift your superior.
You can certainly try.
He's going to try to shift your superior up and your danger down. More thinky, less random crap. I'm looking at the wrong character sheet. I'm like, is he going to like this or not? I don't know what your stats are. So yeah, he's going.
Oh no,
he's going for danger down, superior up.
That's literally my best stat, but I'm still gonna like.
Superior is your best stat? I thought Savior was your best stat.
Oh no, Savior is. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
For some reason, the S's got me confused.
Yeah. So he wants to up your tactical planning, unless I'm just going to grab stuff and throw it at people and hope that it shorts them out.
Nah.
Nah.
We're gonna try to reject that.
Okay. When someone with influence over you tells you who you are and how the world works, if you reject someone's influence, roll. Just roll. Straight up. Synchronous rolls something. He rolled a 9. On the 7-9, choose one. Clear condition or mark potential by immediately acting to prove them wrong. Shift one label up and one label down, your choice. Or cancel their influence and take +1 forward against them.
Yeah, I'm taking that one.
That's tasty, isn't it? Okay. So yeah, canceling surges though. Just put it in your notes or something that the note field in that third screen where you can just write stuff that Surge doesn't have influence over you, and also that you mark down +1 forward against Surge.
Yeah, I have that in my influence section.
Oh, perfect. Jamie, who plays the Nova Ember in the other game, would be very envious of you right now because Surge is her arch nemesis. She absolutely hates him. So, yeah. I think she's tried to clear his influence like twice and it's always just failed miserably. Anyway, so yeah,
she
cool.
Needs to kick a magnet at him.
What's that?
She needs to just kick a magnet at him. That's the easiest way to handle that one.
Just kick a magnet at him. How do you deal with Surge all the time? I don't know. Kick a magnet at him. What does that even mean? I don't know. Kick a magnet at him. All right.
He's a robot.
So
it's
yeah,
a thing.
Influence over Surge. No influence from Surge for you. Nice job. And so while he's giving this monologue about, good job, good planning, good job against my nefarious machines, thing, taking down the enemy rather than fleeing, and he's sort of doing all this stuff and, calling out Sync and, let's hope that you were actually planning for that, so on and so forth. You're going to try and see if this jogs your memory? Is that the idea here?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
cool. So your move is where?
Remember someone.
Remember someone. I actually have, anyway, I have a really cool, anyway.
Oh my gosh. I have a -1 on that.
I got to scroll
Sure.
down.
I have
An
a
8.
0.
You have a 0.
8?
You realize we aren't going to roll this well for the rest of the
No,
campaign.
just enjoy it while you can, boys. Boys and girls.
We'll be like 2 months from now. You guys remember session 2? Man,
So you have
man,
I'm
our
sorry.
dice
So you
were.
said you have a -1 on that?
No, she has a 0.
Oh, it says, okay.
I think she has a 0. What? Remember someone is based off of.
Memories.
It's just your.
It's a you add to it when you get people.
Oh, so it's just a straight up roll at the beginning of the thing. So the move. Okay, let me just pull the playbook up here because I want to look at this. It's not. No, we need to get these into the passive move, so I don't have to flip up the character sheet. When you push yourself to remember the version of someone that exists in your future, mark a condition and roll memories. On a hit, which you got, you connect who they are now and who they are in your future. Choose the role that they fulfill in the future, and the GM will tell you about their future self. On a 10 plus, ask a follow-up question. On a miss, they're not at all who you thought they would be. The GM will choose their role or tell you that as far as you know, they don't exist in your future. So you don't get a follow-up question, but you do get to put them in one of these slots.
I'm putting him in the martyr slot.
Really? Interesting. Okay. There's no AIs, no functional AIs in your future. Surge is Y. In the timeline that you are currently, that you know about, the memories that you have of this time, Surge is the reason that there are no AIs. He took them out and himself as a means to give humanity a chance to escape.
Is blank space somewhere?
There isn't.
On the
I think you might need to put it in.
Oh, there you go. Never
Is
mind.
it there?
I got it.
Cool.
Yeah, I can put it in here.
Yeah, I don't know if they have.
I can put it
Oh,
in
it's
the
in
note
memories.
section. Well, I can note the person, but what you're just giving me is
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can put in like Surge, Martyr, but all the other stuff is like a whole thing. Oh, so that's interesting. That's interesting. That's a whole different. Now we know that. Very, very cool. Okay. So.
does she do it? Does she do a Doctor Who? I'm so sorry.
So yeah, you put that connection together, Matt. What do you do? Like, I mean, do you say or do anything at that point in time as that realization comes over you, as he's like giving this speech and preparing and knowing the weaknesses of things and, knowing the plan and then acting the plan, that kind of deal? Or,
yeah.
And does that relate to the condition she takes?
oh, do you take a condition?
I get to take a condition
Oh,
too.
yeah. So yeah, like how does that, thank you. I missed that part in the write-up. So
From the
based
very
on,
beginning.
yeah. So yeah, you find this thing out and take a condition. What is this? Sad. Is sad a condition? No.
I didn't hear you come across.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to take guilty.
Lovely. That's great. I like that a lot.
Oh, I feel guilty about treating him as that disliked teacher to find out that like he's someone very special. And this is the first one that's hit her. So this is like the first memory to come up.
That's really kind of clicked. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think she's going to say something to him, but I do think she's going to, kind of do a, oh, and kind of stagger back. Hopefully someone will catch me.
Joe catches you.
I mean, Joe could say, I just have Joe. Very nice.
Oh, you okay?
I don't know. Just remembered something.
That's good.
Well, considering you also don't have the most complete memory.
Exactly. That's why he's kind of. That would be good,
who here
except that
has a
you're like
complete
not
memory?
acting like it's good. Yeah.
That should be good, but
Joe will not pry as to what it is. He's just
yeah.
happy to hold her up, but not hold her up. Just be there, kind of letting her lean against him
Gotcha.
with his arms kind of way out to the side so that she doesn't fall. But
Don't want to make.
Oh my God! Just take a powerful blow and get it over with. No, I'm kidding. Sure. Okay.
oh my God, is that Dr. Infinity stealing a kid?
Yeah, it's stealing the Legacy's little sister.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's guilty.
Yeah, they do good. The art is actually really, really cool. For most of these, it's really pretty nice. Okay. Nice. All right. All right. Next one. Oh no, we only have 5 minutes left. All right. Early time in the lockers get changed. Head to the next period. Team 4, you are up tomorrow. First thing. I expect to try to take over the world 3 times next session. So chop in getting ready and into your uniforms. All right. And that's going to be how Jim.
And out of those friggin'. Everyone runs and gets out of those uniforms as quickly as possible.
Yeah. I mean, not everybody. The annoying. Well, so here's the thing. The ones who aren't in a team club get the gym uniforms. The ones who are in team club get to wear their club uniforms if they want to during gym. Their uniforms are nicer, more comfortable, don't itch, and fit.
And don't smell like last week's sweat socks.
And yeah, don't smell like they're somebody else's gym's clothes. So
the classic, the click uniforms come in 2 sizes, too big and too small.
Yeah. Joe, you get one guess what yours is.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Okay.
Actually, Joe Joe just wears his cargo shirts and ties a sash on one hand, on one arm, depending upon if it's skirts or shirts or skins, to identify which team he's on.
I was prepping before the game and thinking about various things and had started. The day was kind of crazy, but started to kind of put together love letters. I thought I could probably get through all of them. And I had gotten there. I like what I've gotten, and I'm definitely going to be using them. But while there's a weird series of events in the house, there's a lot of virtual meetings going on for everybody in the house. So our 3rd grade class is virtually meeting at 9 o'clock every morning, and the 1st graders start with that tomorrow. And tonight, we had watched an episode of She-Ra because we're trying to get caught up. And then Zoe, 6, had to do a virtual Girl Scouts meeting, which is her first one that she had to do. So she didn't want anybody to keep watching She-Ra because she was going to miss it. So we switched over, and Sean says, let's watch Mystery Incorporated. That's meaningless. Like, meaning that it's not attached to anybody else, right? Nobody's going to worry about if we miss an episode because we just kind of randomly watch that whenever. And it's playing along, and I'm working on the stuff, and I look at, they're doing some kind of thing with an oil derrick or something. And every single kid, I look down, and all 5 of the kids and several other people are inexplicably chained to a catwalk that has them hanging over the side of this oil derrick while the bad guys do nefarious things with the oil drill. This oil platform. And I looked at all of them in a row chained to this big machine, and I thought of the scene from the Judas Contract, which I cannot find a fucking picture of, where they're all tied, wired into this big machine. And I thought, oh, never mind. I know what I'm doing tonight. I don't need the love letters. I'm good. I just need to look up what power Surge copies. We are good. Anyway, next period is lunch. Lunch sounds good. Got a free period, which is great because you get a little bit more time to get out of stuff in the gym, change over, and can kind of take a minute, take a breather, get outside if you're inclined. Do you people wait for each other, or do you have any specific thing you need to go and do, or anything like that, or are you just kind of like other people would have to find you?
I'm probably hanging to see when somebody else from the group comes out, because I feel I'd want to kind of talk about how it went and congratulate the folks on how they did.
I have absolutely. While I acknowledge that you and Sync are probably the first ones out, the Sync is probably pretty close to the first person out because timing is. Well, Sync comes out exactly when Sync wants to come out. But when it comes to changing out of slightly ill-fitting jumpsuits and into other ones, you are the master.
So I am the queen of unjumpsuiting.
Yeah.
And re-jumpsuiting, as the case may be, but.
Yeah. It's like watching somebody who's, it's methodical, it's mechanical, and also very
you
fast.
Eating chicken.
It's that was the analogy I was gonna actually mention, that because you were the one that mentioned that one time, and I thought everyone else is like, no one's gonna remember that actual conversation. So it touches me that you remember that conversation. To catch up those of you
everyone has to have a special skill, Doyce.
Well, so I grew up on a farm. We raised between my family's farm and my grandparents' farm, we probably had 400 chickens or something like that a year, and they were all for food. They didn't produce eggs. It was just food. So chicken was at least a meal a day, I feel like. I don't know how mathematically it wouldn't have been. And it was almost always like roast the whole bird kind of a thing, which I've never thought about before. And then I was out here in Denver, and I don't think I'd known Dave and Margie for very long, and Margie had made some chicken, and I was handed a couple of pieces of chicken on the bone, and apparently, I don't know exactly how Margie described it, but it was like watching a machine debone something. Like it was just mechanical, automatic. It's like you don't think about the way
it wasn't so much that as it was sort of like that you pick up the piece of chicken and then all there's left is bone. I mean, there was no.
Let's just say there's no romance in the exchange anymore. It's just
you and chicken.
Done. And yeah, I've been self-conscious about it ever since you've said that. But no, I'm kidding. Anyway, I do have a method to it, though. I have noticed that I do have a pattern. It's like if you're drying yourself off getting out of the shower and you can't do it the way that you do it, which you couldn't ever articulate, but if something interrupts the pattern, you have to like almost start over. At least that is how it is for me. I'm a creature of habit. We're all creatures of habit. Okay, so you're waiting outside the gym. Sorry for that tangent.
Okay, so Joyce, I'm
Outside.
afraid we have to interrupt briefly
Yeah.
to ask you to go over to the Discord channel
Oh, sorry.
to judge what Judas contract scene,
Oh my God.
Judas contract bondage scene you were referring to.
So I will well. What I wanted was the way they drew it in the. They've done more recently an animated Judas contract, which I highly recommend. It's pretty good.
Scroll down.
Probably the third one that's the one that Mike put up.
It's definitely from that one for sure. Yeah. Although that's not that. While it's from the Judas contract, is not actually them strapped to the machine. That's like they've captured Damien in that one. The only real problem with the Judas contract in that one is Tara is her relationship with Deathstroke is super problematic. But
well, it is in the original too.
Yeah.
I was about to say that's the original story, man.
Yeah.
So there's they stick with it. I wouldn't say they lean into it, and certainly he doesn't reciprocate, which is a comfort. But yeah, it's a thing.
So better than the original story.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I would say, yeah, he pretty much dismisses her as like a foolish girl, and she doesn't react very well to that. Yeah, so yeah, Judas contract thing. Here's the thing. Image searching for superheroes tied up is not going to get you the hits you want. Let me clarify. It's not going to get you the hits that you want right before you start the game. You might save that page for later, but not immediately useful for my purposes. Nothing that I'm going to bring to the table, so to speak. So there you go. Yeah, but certainly the idea of that, the big machine in the middle of the room kind of a deal. That's what I was looking for. But I can't say, hey guys, can you help me find a picture where all the super team is like strapped to a machine? I need that for setting the scene. Spoilers. Anyway. So before we, are we? Sorry, I didn't. Somehow Discord ended up like under a bunch of other screens. I think like 5 screens to run this game. Coming out of the gym, or coming out of the locker rooms, I'm out. You know what? I'm throwing this back to Margie. Who's the first? Who comes out first? For the people that you're waiting for.
Joe. 2 reasons.
Yes.
Because Joe knows I'm a quick changer after Jim.
And all he has to do is yank on cargo shorts.
Yeah, it's actually more hard getting off what he's wearing, but the on is always easier for him. But he also makes an extra effort because he knows that I'm out of there quickly.
That's awesome. All right.
Not that she realizes that, but that's Margie talking.
Yeah, exactly. No, absolutely. I asked Margie. Luckily, and I don't know that this is certainly not necessarily something that Matt might know, but I'm not saying it is something that Matt knows for sure. The elf boy came out about 10, 15 seconds early, and earlier than that, came out through the door, smiled winningly, went by, and had floated around the corner and thus let you come back to your senses just a second before Joe came out of the locker. So you're like, so Joe, as you're coming out, Met's like kind of blinking and shaking her head a little bit and going, oh, like kind of like, that was a.
Hey, you okay? You were kind of shaky there in the gym exercise.
I'm fine.
Okay, good.
I like that. I'm fine. Oh dear.
Well, thank you, Joe. I'm fine now.
I like that how that first protestation is a little bit loud. So you guys are sort of checking on that. Sync, were you out before this and kind of kept going? Come out right then? Do you take your time in this because you know you've got plenty of time to get lunch, or?
Yeah, I probably take it easy.
Nice. Question, real quick. You don't live. I mean, you're not at the. You're not doing. You're like boarding here. You're coming in
I
from town.
am now.
Oh, you are now.
I am now.
Cool, cool. So you
After the incident with the Q craft, or just because?
Just because.
just because? I mean, you had the option open. Coming back and forth is a hassle. So do you go home on the weekends, hang out with the fam, anything like that, or
Nope.
what's that look like?
Nope.
Nope. Oh, I might delve into that a little bit more later. Um, okay. So you're out. So they're sitting there, kind of having a conversation. Joe's looking awkward because it's Joe. Met's looking Met-like. She has this little furrow, and you can kind of tell where her, like what her mental state is, like right between her brow. Um, it's at that sort of mid-range point of like either she's only just thinking or she's trying not to look like she's deeply concerned. You've seen it get as bad as bad enough that it would probably hold a pencil. But it's not quite at that point now. Wave and head by, gather up with, kind of just pull yourself up next to him. See if you can catch up with Gothwitch. Gothwitch? Did I get the name right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
As she's kind of like,
mean Tiffany?
I mean Gothwitch.
don't call me
Do
Tim.
not let her hear. Do not let her hear you call her Tiffany.
Tiffany with a heart. It's actually on the birth certificate that way.
Poor thing.
Her mom wrote it.
Poor thing.
Somebody someday in the real world is going to have a birth certificate with emojis on it, just white.
Yep.
Yeah, you're true.
Just so you guys know, Kayla keeps walking in here with a very thin stack of Post-it notes, writes like 3 words on them, and then brings it over and then just hands it to me and walks back out again. One of them, with Serge talking to one of you guys, was she walks in and hands me one that says, "I smell a label shift coming," and then she walks out. That's all she. She'll be GMing the next game. Anyway, that was an enthusiastic nod. So yeah, I mean, Sync. What you pull up here? Do you guys just kind of cluster in the hall and then just celebrate the win, kind of a deal, or as you guys are sort of filing out?
Hey, uh, that thing you did with the kick. I was gonna do that. Not Dave. Not to Alex, but to Surge. But hey, I'm glad I was able to set that up for you.
Oh yeah, thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate that. Honestly, I just needed to go to the bathroom, so I needed to do that quickly.
Way to stay in character, dear.
Oh, that's great. Wait, Kaylee. No, she walked out. These characters or other ones? Different ones. All right.
New ones.
Interesting.
New children.
Nice.
For me.
Well done.
Yeah.
Go you. You guys, she's not writing fan fiction about this game, but you are inspiring her to write more stories about new characters that she's coming up with as she's inspired by your cool characters. So
Nice.
that's what she wrote to say.
Fun.
She wrote a NaNoWriMo's worth of a story without knowing that NaNoWriMo was going on last semester.
Wow.
I grabbed the whole text of it, and it was like a week from the end of the month, and I grabbed it, tossed it in there, and she was well over the suggested word count for her age bracket at 14 or whatever. Well over. Won't let me read it. I was only allowed to put it in, and then I had to delete the text. But
I wouldn't know anything about that.
Yeah, more of her children. She calls them her children. Anyway, okay, so Alex is out.
You haven't told her what she needs to do with her darlings, have you?
No, we haven't had that conversation.
Okay.
Make sure she's unarmed. Is there, and I ask this as just the inquisitive GM kind of thing, because I know, he's your rival, right? Kind of deal. Well,
Yeah, I'm standing here with my love and my rival.
yeah. There isn't anything here that with you kind of. I don't know what the rival moves are because they kind of vary depending on how you've decided to build your bull, but there isn't anything here with you, this interaction that like kicks off a move or anything like that. I want to make sure I don't
No,
miss
I
that.
mean
Okay.
the move that I took is a defend move, so I take an advantage when I defend either one of them.
Gotcha.
I would argue different.
Okay.
I would say that this might be sharing a vulnerability or a weakness.
Ooh.
Possibly? I feel, yeah, I mean, I can see. It's not exactly sharing a vulnerability, but it is making yourself vulnerable.
I don't
Like,
necessarily
maybe?
focus that on the targets of the bull's heart, which is to say I can't, and in some ways I may be more likely to. But
Yeah, I just want to look at the thing.
now if I do a triumphant celebration with someone, I can change them into either my love or rival.
Right. Share vulnerability. You need to pull up the bull one.
I've got it labeled in my passive moves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, give them influence. Share vulnerability or weakness. Give them influence and hold 2. Spend that hold to help them as if it were team in the pool. Oh, I see what you're saying. Cool. Sorry, I'm gonna look at this real quick because it's so. I feel like it's almost there. Well, maybe, I don't know. How did you word that, Joe? Was it like, that was a cool move. I was gonna do that. I was gonna do basically the same thing, but like, no, cool move anyway. Like acknowledge that the thing was like your move, but you did it, and it was still good. Because it isn't exactly sharing a vulnerability, but it is making yourself vulnerable, like acknowledging that this guy is, can do a good thing. I'm fine with that. I feel like it ticks the box, but you are you're the ultimate arbiter of that. Thank you, Mike, for pointing it out. What do you think, Dave?
I don't think we use those moves enough.
It's true.
You're not wrong. Sure.
Right.
Especially since he's here in. Yeah.
In front of you and in front of Matt.
He would try to be the bigger guy. So even though he's gonna preface it by saying, well, I was gonna do something like that, and I kind of teed it up for you. But that was like, really, that was well done. So
it was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
No, I like that, especially. Yeah, and I think the tipping point really there is in front of Matt. So yeah. You basically have like 2 team that you can just use to help out sync. Put it in your notes, I guess, or wherever it mentally makes more sense for you not to lose track of. But yeah, that's basically what it does. Is you just have this 2 hold. So no roll there. Just leave yourself open to that.
He has influence over me now.
Oh,
Which I already did, so I get to shift your labels.
Ooh, cool. How do you do? Now we did one of the things that we did that was not technically. If you want, I left the character sheets visible to everybody. In this one because you're actually supposed to be able to look before you move labels.
Oh, really?
We were playing. Well, to be fair, it's one line on page 90 where most of the text is on page 89, so you don't see it, but it doesn't like. We were playing hard mode, where you could end up giving people conditions at the end of the session, unwittingly. Not actually required as in the rules as written. So you can open up the sheet and look at the character sheets and see how you want to shift up if you want.
I'm not gonna.
I'm not gonna.
So, Joe, would you think this makes you more angry or more insecure?
Are you shifting labels that he can't shift?
Oh no, I'm just using those as my gauge here.
Gotcha.
It probably makes me more angry. Paradoxically, because I'm having to do this, because I'm doing this in front of Matt.
Okay. Well, in that case, shift your mundane down and your danger up.
I will do that.
And there was one of those other big debates kind of thing is like, well, if you're shifting labels because you got influence over somebody, is that an influence that you can reject? And it's not, because they're not like using their influence. They just got it and it's a knock-on effect. So there's all these kind of weird. We never ran into it very much.
So I can or can't reject the.
I don't think so.
No. Yeah, I was about to say, because you're implicitly having to give it.
Yeah, you give him influence. Like, no, I choose for him to hit me, so nobody can make him not hit me because I chose that. One of the reason the debate came up is somebody was like, well, somebody shifted my labels at the end of the game because they already had influence over me and they got influence over me again. Can I reject their influence? Like, no, the game's over, dude. Like, you don't get to roll now. The game's over. Anyway. Okay. So while this is kind of like awkwardly, weirdly, do you guys need a minute kind of moment? Alex and Killen, you kind of walk into this. There's weird.
And slow down in unison as they.
It's weird how the tension in the air can actually make you start to walk slower. Like, what's happening? Anyway. Kiln, what do you do? There's clearly tension, but nobody's angry. Maybe Joe's angry? It's hard to tell.
He's angrier?
Looks bigger somehow.
I go up and start kind of talking like, oh man,
just kind of like reliving the.
Can't wait for lunch. I saw there is a thing called spaghetti on the menu. I don't know what that is, but Chris?
Anything with that many syllables has to be good.
Chris was talking about pasta, so now I'm really excited to try it.
Nice.
You've been here at school for 2 weeks and you haven't had any pasta.
It hasn't. There's been other stuff on the menu.
It's a school. How could they not have pasta on the menu before now?
No, but there's been other stuff on the menu I've been having.
Yeah.
I was just saying, like, everything's new, so she just hasn't. They just haven't gotten around to pasta in the list of things we haven't tried yet.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't eaten a lot. Some of the stuff I just start liking, and I just eat a lot of that, so I don't eat anything else. Like mac and cheese is really good. That's pasta. No, it's mac and cheese. Anyway, having played Breath of the Wild, I'm amused with two junctures about like you're socketing in his food because I spend a lot of time cooking in that game. So it amuses me that that the food is kind of a thing, and also food is comfort. I mean, That's just a good mask move for you, as a general rule. Alex, quietly tagging along,
Would you like some chips, Joyce?
observing. We don't need chips. We have pasta.
Yep, quietly tagging along.
Okay. All right.
So does Alex have a kind of a cybernetic mental note-taking device that just like, rather than sitting there and writing down, scribbling notes from the things he's observing, he can just kind of make mental notes that
I'm only
that
correcting so I
they can
remember.
later print out.
You'll never know.
Very nice. Okay. Lunch. Okay. Sorry, I'm flagging a little bit. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. Kelsey, I'm gonna leave this with Alex a little bit, or rather, I'm gonna leave it a little bit with Bill, or anybody else who wants to kick in. Set me the scene. Just show us the scene of you guys at the lunch. Are you is it a long cafeteria table you guys kind of like nudge into? Are you guys going outside around like one of those picnic tables that's basically like cemented into the sidewalk kind of a thing? Pass around the table. Let's see what what are we grabbing for food? We're not really necessarily hearing all the dialogue, but what are people grabbing? What are people eating? How are people but I'm gonna ask Bill to kind of or Alex, whoever, however you want to approach that, to kind of set us down at a particular location, and then I want to kind of go around the table and see like what the general mood is for each of you, what you're eating, where your mind seems to be at, that kind of thing, and then we'll probably wrap because I'm flagging a little bit, and I want to make sure that we end on a good image. So if you guys wouldn't mind.
I feel like there's probably an indoor cafeteria. I feel like it's got to be roomy.
Yeah.
I feel like the lunch ladies here have seen everything, and it doesn't matter what kind of freak you are, they just slop the stuff on the plate.
Yeah.
The trays are oversized, and bowls and utensils and everything are standardized so that people with different manipulators or different size or whatever can use them. And there's a lot of variation in there. There's probably tables. There's tables where the students kind of congregate. There's kind of tables where like your cliques will sit. So we have a table. The people who also participated in Surge's training activity are kind of watching us. We're kind of watching them because everybody's trying to gauge like, how did we do versus them? How did they do versus us?
Yeah.
Who came out of that looking cooler? And the people who don't want to be thought of as looking cooler are kind of looking down. And the people who are thinking, hey, I looked really cool, who's noticing me, are going to be looking around like, hey, feed my dopamine addiction here, guys.
Well, we definitely know that means that Met is not looking up.
Met is very focused on the spaghetti.
So
not that Met looks up very often, anyways. When others are looking at her, so.
So with that, talk about the food that you got, and talk about the expression on your face as you look at that food.
I will also say, I just want to touch base real quick where you guys are sitting there and kind of doing the thing. There are a couple people who like swing by and kind of, we don't hear what they say, but we see that they came up and say it. So Sequoia, like, strides up to the table, big smile on his face, we see him like making big expansive gestures.
Very Sequoia.
I take that back. We don't see him walk up. We see like there's a frame shot of Met and somebody standing right behind her, and then when we pull back, we see that like Roy's right there, right behind her. But he's smiling. It's all fine. Big smiles, big waves. The thing he's like gesturing and like grabbing and pulling stuff and all this other kind of stuff. A lot of it seems to be gesturing about has to do with the sort of the anti-grav and the throwing maneuvers and stuff that Met was maybe involved in. Who was the other one? I had it right here. Where was it? Problem Child is kind of going by, and it's just a subtle thing. It's like a chin nod at like he catches Sync's eye for just a second as like a chin nod, and he does like sort of an air fit. He doesn't like actually change his direction long enough for you to like actually change his direction to actually swing close enough by the table, but he does kind of bring his hand up and do kind of the fist bump thing, and then like spread the fingers into kind of the explosion deal. Like, you know,
in blew that up.
Yeah, with the little direction thing, and the the table where where Jillian Macaron is sitting. She's a little grumpy for a little bit and actually makes some sort of snippy comment, and we don't know exactly what that's about, but it seems to be because everyone's talking about that last match, and they're not like doesn't have anything to do with her. So she's a little bit not huffy. She doesn't like go. She's not being totally bitchy about it, but she's kind of like she missed something.
Out of her depth, or not, just feeling out of her normal orbit.
Stuff. There's other people. There's definitely looks. Different people, Hunter and Derek. We see Nono at a table talking animatedly to Emma, who's trying to look bored, and actually, doing a fairly good job of it. Things like that. But the couple people like Sequoia, Paul, who actually take the time to kind of. Oh, and Hellblade, Chris comes by and waves to Alex. And waves to Kiln and smiles and like point. You see her pointing at the plate and is like, yeah, and that kind of thing, and then kind of heads off. But going around the table, I just wanted to give some of the other classmates that are kind of, if you look, and probably nobody would really track this in the classroom necessarily. Maybe a couple. I think that Alex might. In the cafeteria, your sort of homeroom. They're not sitting together, but they're sitting near. There's a cluster that's probably pretty.
We start off being in the sophomore quadrant.
Yeah, but even
and then we sort of have a proximity to each other.
To each other in that homeroom does kind of stay, whether it's self-defense or just habit or wanting to all keep an eye on each other. But that's definitely a thing that's happening. That's probably something to say for pulling back, but sorry.
Except for the drama kids. The drama kids are off on their own table,
right?
Regardless of their class or homeroom.
So Bill handed around the table, and we'll end with Alex and see what's going on there. So, like, what's your expression like your food? And popcorn initiative. So, Bill, who do we see in frame first as we're panning around the table?
I'm gonna ask Joe.
Joe's brow is furrowed, and he's staring down in an inexplicably grumpy fashion, looking at the big salad that he has. And at some point in time, he looks up as though as though someone has made a comment and says, "What? I wanted salad with ham on it."
Who's going past? Like, I think the camera's like doing like a breakfast kind of pan around the table. Who's next to you?
Kiln. Spaghetti.
Kiln is fighting his first spaghetti.
Yeah, no.
Have you?
How do they like spaghetti?
Has the spaghetti defeated you?
Kiln is quickly eating the spaghetti.
I want to know, how is Kiln eating the spaghetti wrong? It's effective. I'm not saying it's not effective, but nobody would look at that and say, yes, that's how you eat spaghetti.
I
realize I'm like this way that this is a food that you know how to eat. How do you do it wrong?
No, there are two ideas going on in my head, and I'm debating between the two of them because
Scissors.
There are two wolves
They're-
in your mind.
technically both could be correct, but they're wrong.
First, you
Okay.
start with pizza scissors.
No, the debate is between. Well, on the first day they were serving Chinese noodles,
Okay.
and so people were using. They provided some chopsticks,
Sure.
reusable chopsticks. So it's yes, seeing noodles or pasta and going, okay, chopsticks.
That must be what you're supposed to use. Okay.
The other is cutting them up with the knife into bite-sized pieces, which I have seen people do, and it kills me.
I like the idea of killing using chopsticks and being incredibly dexterous
With them.
with them. So it's like, oh my god, he's like,
It's like
they're like eating spaghetti better than anybody else who's eating spaghetti here.
and doing it
with
wrong
chopsticks.
yeah, that's awesome. Like you start to go, no, you're not supposed. You know what? Never mind. You're fine. It's all good.
But also Kiln is kind of not completely entranced, keeping an eye out on the people who are giving less than pleasant looks.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
But
Track.
just keeping track.
Folks
Kind of
giving
thing?
us the stink eye.
There's occasionally stink eye or the attempt to look bored kind of thing or anything like that. But yeah, for sure. So yeah.
Kiln may not be from this time, but they're not unused to power play dynamics.
Oh, sure. Which is great. Um, who's next? Wait. We talk about eating things wrong. I have to share because the cutting up the spaghetti and the separate things reminded me. I had a coworker last job I was at who ate this. She would order salad with the dressing on the side, and she would take her fork. She'd uncap the salad dressing, and every bite she would take her fork and dip just the tips of the tines into the dressing, and then she would stab some of the salad
Okay.
and eat it. Just for the very I just want.
She probably is one of those people that buy the spray dressing. Have you seen this?
I don't.
That is horrifying. There's
It's-
spray dressing.
Like in a pump bottle, so
I
that you
want-
just put the teeny tiniest amount on.
I want aerosol. I want aerosolized ranch dressing. That's what I want in my life. That's what I need.
You know, I'm sorry, but that doesn't come in the whole. I'm on a severe diet, and I only want to put a teaspoon of salad dressing on my
Aerosol.
salad.
Yeah. Oh my God. No, for me
Look in the market. Look in the grocery section.
for me looking at what she was doing
Look there.
was it was like the LaCroix of salad dressing. I just a hint of lime kind of level of salad dressing.
Half calf, double calf with a twist.
Yeah. Whoever used this fork before me, before it was washed in a high pressure, cleaning mechanism, used it to have salad with regular dressing on it. And that hint of dressing is what I'm aiming for with this technique. The ghost of dressing. All right. So sorry, Killen, who are you gonna hand off to?
Gonna hand it off to Sink.
Sink. Food. Attitude.
Uh-huh. Oh no, he's just oblivious that anyone else might not be happy. He's sitting there with his spaghetti, just nodding along, seeing Kiln doing their thing, and just being like, okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
There you go.
Do we see any particular reaction from the thing where Paul when he does the little acknowledgement?
These
The-
are like yeah.
Like try to be cool, but still not like it's still a little bit awkward kind of a thing. Because you guys were like
Yeah.
like childhood buddies, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. It's just sort of like is it while he's looking at me, nod. When he turns away, grimace.
Yeah. So like the only real ripple on the pond with regards to like, hey, I'm just having a good time, except for that little bit of an exchange. Nice. Who's next? Who's that? Leave us.
We haven't done Alex yet, right?
We haven't done Alex. We haven't done Met. I think.
Yep. We'll do Alex.
All right.
Because I want to see what's up with these chicken tenders.
So it's basically nothing but chicken tenders and fries.
What kind of
You
food
just
is it?
described 3 of my friends.
I was gonna say, are you planning on visiting the nurse daily?
What kind of food do you like?
Friend out.
What kind of food do you like? Brown stuff? I don't know.
I want somebody to just raise an eyebrow at this choice of food. And Alex, around a chicken tender, will be like, "What? I hate myself."
Friend Alex, I haven't had those yet.
Yeah, because I ate them all.
I love the idea that he says, "I haven't had those yet," and Alex makes like sort of a defensive motion of like getting their arms around the plate a little bit, like, "Hey, Alex, I haven't had those yet." He's asking a question. Sorry, they're asking a question, and Alex is like, "Watch it."
Not mine.
Like, it's a defensive maneuver.
What's it worth to you?
If Kaylee were, she's not listening right now because she's heading off to bed. But yeah,
That just means she's listening and you don't know it.
Yeah, the what I hate myself thing. I could just imagine. So they're sitting at the lunchroom and they're all going around. We're going around the table like, what are they eating? And Alex, Agent 37, is just, it's nothing but chicken nuggets and piles of fries. And when somebody gives her even kind of a little bit of side eye, talking around the chicken nugget, she's like, "What? I hate myself." And I'm expecting my daughter to shout from the next room over, "Same." But anyway, hang on one second. What was that?
But she works off all those calories swimming, so.
Yeah, she works on the power.
What is she doing right now?
She is doing every other workout. Because she can't swim right now. There are no open pools. So the swim team, we're still paying the coaches to. We're paying them like it's a full. You had to volunteer for this, but we're just paying them like it's a regular thing. So one of the coaches also teaches some like morning sort of aerobic workout kind of stuff, like early in the morning, and also records it. And all the kids in the swim team get to take that for free. She runs it for adults, but she's doing that through Zoom right now. She and one of the other coaches, I think, are married. Are Sean and she married?
Nobody knows.
Well, they're in the same apartment, so I'm assuming they're together in some way. Anyway, but they post on Instagram they made an Instagram account when this all happened, and they post workouts every morning and other just crazy stuff, a mental workout, a physical workout. So the kids are doing those. Santa's timing on buying us a treadmill with a bunch of programmable like routes and exercises and trainers that like do these long programs and stuff, like here's 24 runs in the Iberian Peninsula or whatever, training up for whatever. This turned out to be really prescient and awesome because she's going through and doing like a run program, and she does these workouts that they set her. It's like a lot of body weight stuff and things like that. We were going to do a thing today where I biked over to pick her up at her mom's, and then we were going to bike back, and I had Zoe with me, and it's about a 7-mile bike ride over, and about 5 miles in, I hit something on the sidewalk that blew out my back tire. So it turned into a 5-mile bike ride, and then my 6-year-old was a trooper, man, and we did a 2-mile hike. She didn't have to push the bike at least, and there were quite a few hills in there. But she was fine, and we got over there, and the timing was pretty good. We tried to reinflate the tire, realized it wasn't going to reinflate, and right about then my wife showed up and picked us up. So
Rescued you all.
yeah, got us all bundled back up. Her mom was like, "Well, I can give you a ride." I'm like, "You don't know what our bike situation," because I had my bike plus this extra little half a bike that like attaches to the
Right.
back end. That's a lot to put into a regular sedan or whatever. So there's bike rides in our future and lots of other stuff. Even with the shelter-in-place rules, you can still like go out for exercise and whatnot. So it's a good excuse to get that
So
in.
at V, they have a dedicated channel.
Sorry, wait until let's. I want to hear this.
Finish.
But James, right? We should wrap up. Alex, what? I hate myself. That's awesome. And now Matt. Actually, so we're back to Margie anyway.
Yeah, so Met has a plate that's just piled high of anything fresh. So it's this weird combination of vegetables and fruits and just
If it's pasta,
tuna
it's like a
fish.
pasta salad kind of thing, like a cold
No
pasta salad.
pasta.
No
No,
pasta.
no. Pasta's no. It's just from the salad bar. So it's basically anything that's fresh from the salad bar, with the
Gotcha.
exception of maybe a little canned tuna in there also.
Nice. What's the
It's not
one
because she's a vegetarian. It's because like
you can't get
fresh
that?
food,
Well, it's harder.
fresh produce is like not something that was
It
readily
beats the
accessible.
yeast vats.
What's the? I gotta ask this though, and it may not be in this meal, but what's the? That's what I'm looking for. What's the comfort food thing that you eat here because it reminds you of the kind of stuff that you would eat back there? Like when you want just something.
Seaweed snacks.
Say that again. Scooby snacks.
Seaweed snacks. Seaweed
Seaweed
snacks.
snacks. Okay, cool. Like some kale chips or some kind of equivalent.
The seaweed, it's just sheets of seaweed
And this is
that's
something
been
that you could.
toasted.
Okay, I see. Gotcha. Okay. Once more around the table then.
Very high in iodine, which is a good thing.
Once more around the table then. Who was the first person we called on? Was Oh my God, who was the first person we called? Alex went. No, Bill said the first person that we see is Joe. Joe, closer to team, further to team, more into your own image of yourself.
Ooh.
Right at 10:30, so we're. I will also point out that my daughter's being better about this and correcting me when I called Alex she. So apologies. I will get it right. I swear to God. But she's catching it at least. She's shaking her fist at me.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I do. I do too.
I'm gonna say closer to the team, and because Met let me catch her.
So you can clear condition or take potential, and Matt, I think you probably get to shift his labels because I'm pretty sure you have influence over him already. And you can always, if you want,
Look at
open
your
up.
character sheet.
Yeah, if you want, you can always. I mean, she's your love thing, so I'm pretty sure she has influence
No,
over
I
you.
just
Yeah,
the
she should
reason I
automatically
said I
have
didn't
it.
know is
Yeah.
because I knew everyone had influence. I knew everyone had influence
Yeah,
over me. I couldn't remember how many I had
Yeah.
the other direction.
So you get to shift his labels if you are so inclined. You can open up the character sheet and see where they're at right now, and
I'm
shift
already there.
and shift according. Like, well, actually, you can just straight up move them. You don't have to tell anybody, but it probably just easier to say them, tell them. Sitting next to you was Sink. No, sitting next to you was
Me.
yes, was Kiln. Kiln.
Kiln.
Closer to, further away, more into yourself.
Closer to, and I'd say Joe.
Joe. Cool. Again, clear condition, which I don't think you have, or because my God, every single one of you guys on your take a powerful blow. Nice job. So take potential there, and figure out whether or not you already have influence, and if so, shift labels. And then we went to sync.
Me.
Yes.
More into my own image of myself.
Cool. Shift the labels.
And my own image is an asshole.
Are you though?
Mundane down, superior up.
Ooh. Which is funny to me because that was the influence from S.U.R.G.E that you rejected, and now you're doing it to yourself.
No, he wanted my danger down. We ain't
Oh,
doing
danger down. Gotcha. Mundane down, superior up. Gotcha. Like it. I heard something beep. I gotta go see what the chat says.
that. That mundane's gonna be at a -2, so help me.
Freak down. Savior up. All right.
I can see why that is your goal in life, because that means that you're super.
I guess. Yeah, no, freak. Alex.
Self-image. I'm taking freak up and mundane down.
Nice. I like it. And that leaves Met.
So I need to clear conditions. So does it matter which one I put? I was going to say closer to the team. So
Closer
then
closer to the team is the option that lets you clear a condition if you are so inclined.
that's what I was going to do anyway. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm going to clear guilty.
Nice. And who are you getting
And,
closer to, or feel closer to? Closer to the team by way of.
Yeah. I'll say Joe today.
Aw.
He did step up and.
Seems to be having some sort of empathy for your memory surge. Memory surge.
Maybe not seem to have dexterity issues at the same time.
Yeah, funny thing. All right, so that's about it. Okay, kudos all around, guys. I loved the banter. Thank you, Mike, for just immediately like lampshading the whole thing and going, okay, so are we leaning into this danger room scenario or what's the deal here? I
will say, at first I was like, you're really just going to take our abilities away in the first game? Okay.
Not, it's a thing. It's that whole, it's a scenario.
And on the second one, we get to fight ourselves.
You can you can absolutely have assumed that there was a briefing at the beginning saying you will be powerless because of this thing. You need to overcome that. This will happen. Trust me. This is S.U.R.G.E. Trust me. Having your powers taken away is something that's going to happen to you at some point in your career. Believe me.
Quick question.
Yeah.
End of session things. With doesn't label shifting only happen if you already had influence?
Yes.
Over someone?
If you gave somebody influence and they did not have influence over you, that all that happens is they get influence. The only label shifting happens is if you give them influence and they already had it.
Okay, so that applies for me for Matt.
Me for you.
You did not already have influence over me.
There you go.
So yeah, Kiln's labels
I do.
Yeah.
So you don't get to mess around with my.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there. Yeah, that's why I say just mark influence and sort things out appropriately. But yeah, I loved Alex's banter at the beginning. I liked Sync's banter at the beginning. I like Kiln stuff was funny just because of the whole so in context, what's going this. Yeah, all good stuff. Love it. Great intro to everybody here doing their super heroic thing and doing it in the classroom setting, which is also kind of fun. Okay, that's all I got. Thank you guys so much. And I'm going to stop recording. As much as I want to hit the pause button, I'm just going to hit stop.